Pokemon is a series that has continually proven to be able to strike a balance between crafting an easygoing experience for a younger audience and a genuinely interesting world full of mystery and unanswered questions. Whether it be through method of encounter, lore uncovered through Pokédex entries, or simply through design, every generation always has some sort of unusual Pokemon that players can theorize and engage in conversation about. And there isn't a Pokemon quite as enigmatic as Unown. On the surface, Unown's design is simple. They make up 28 characters of the Latin alphabet, from A to Z, as well as an exclamation and question mark. And while to the player this makes perfect sense, if you start to think about the connotations within the Pokemon universe, it starts getting a little fuzzy. In recent games, it's been shown that the written language in Pokemon is not English, so we're left to wonder if our Latin alphabet even exists within the Pokemon world. If we dig into the Pokédex entries, even more information is brought forth. For example, the Pokédex entry from Diamond reads, "Shaped like ancient writing, it is a huge mystery whether language or unknown came first." Just from these small pieces of information alone, the player is left to speculate about the language within the world, whether or not the language predates Unown, and even if the Latin alphabet is some ancient language of the past, implying Pokemon is set in some sort of distant future. It strikes this aforementioned balance between the simplicity of just seeing a Pokemon shaped like a letter you're familiar with, while still allowing players to speculate about the language actually being represented in the games, and how it fits into the greater Pokemon universe. While Unown can be found in different locations throughout the generations, there isn't a more perfect locale to house the symbol Pokemon than the ruins of Alph and Johto. Whenever I hear the music, it reminds me of how much fun I had exploring the ruins as a kid. Through the puzzles, the hidden fossils you could get through Rock Smash, and even the Sinjoh event later on, it quickly became one of my favorite areas in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Unown was introduced in the second generation of Pokemon games with Gold and Silver. In the subsequent third game, Crystal, the ruins of Alph and Unown were fleshed out and received more of a subplot within the main story. Unown is probably best known from the third Pokemon movie, where as a swarm they're shown to hold all sorts of mysterious powers. However, as cool as Unown may be, the truth is it's nothing special when it comes to use in-game. As I'm sure you know, its move pool is relegated to simply hidden power, and its stats are equally abysmal. Besides the novelty of being shaped as letters, one of the only redeeming qualities they have is their vibrant shiny. And in 2016, a few shiny hunters managed to combine these two things into one incredible event. In 2016, two shiny hunters, I'm Slice and Harry Dino, started a new shiny hunting event called the Unown Challenge. The premise was relatively simple, where hunters would hunt a shiny Unown, and then would shiny hunt a Pokemon beginning with the letter of the Unown they found. The original rules were pretty hardcore, where everyone was relegated to Heart Gold and Soul Silver only, with a single console, and everyone had to register the trainer ID beforehand to ensure that the shiny they found was from their single allotted game. Based on the shinies you found, you would get points, and the person with the most points would win the challenge. There were a few extra rules put in place as well to make the challenge a little more interesting. Considering in 2016 there were only two huntable Pokemon that started with the letter X, I'm Slice decided that if you found an Unown X, it could act as a wild card and you could hunt any Pokemon you wanted. The exclamation mark Unown meant you had to soft reset for a shiny, and the question mark meant you had to hunt for a Safari Zone shiny. On top of this, you could not breed for a shiny, and you could not evolve a Pokemon to fulfill the letter. So no evolving Weedle into Kakuna for your Unown K. I wasn't particularly active in the shiny hunting community in 2016, so I completely missed this challenge when it was originally run. I didn't find out about it until somewhere in 2020 after seeing some older videos of people participating in it. I instantly loved the idea and even decided to try it out eventually myself, leading to this Unown S and corresponding Spiritomb in 2022. After this, I moved on to new hunts, but the event always stuck around in my head. Fast forward to December of 2024. I had been streaming for quite a while, had a decent little audience, and also had enough friends in the community that I finally felt like I had the reach to start an event and get people on board. So, I went straight to the source to see if I could work something out. With the founder of the original event on board, I decided to get to work bringing back the Unown Challenge for a new generation of shiny hunters. What was once a niche hobby relegated to private Skype calls has since blown up into a community of streamers, content creators, and shiny hunters who have managed to bring the pastime into a more public light. And for this reason, I figured the event could use a new coat of paint after nearly a decade of being forgotten about. After having some brainstorming sessions with my Twitch chat, my mod Zach came up with the great idea of running the event in February, with the 28 different Unown matching the 28 days of the month. With an official start date, I started working on a new rule set. The aspect I prioritized the most for the event was accessibility. I wanted it to be something anyone could jump in and participate in, and so I decided I'd open the event up from just Heart Gold Soul Silver to any game in any generation. With the release of PLA, Unown has never been easier to shiny hunt, and I figured people would love the opportunity to grab a quick Unown in Hisui and then move on to hunting a target in a game of their choice. I liked a lot of the original rules as well, so I kept X as the wild card, the soft reset and Safari shinies for exclamation and question mark, as well as the rule of not evolving into your shiny. I put together a document explaining the event, the rules, where Unown could be hunted, and even left the original rules in case there was a hardcore shiny hunter who wanted to go old school. Alongside this, I also put together a spreadsheet where I could keep track of all the shinies. I had a sheet for every letter and a full alphabet that got filled in as we found the first shiny paired with each Unown. I figured it would be nice to update here and there, but I had no idea how many shinies we'd be finding this event. In the end, I had to update it nearly every day. To tie everything together, my good friend Tina, who does a lot of art for the channel, put together these beautiful logos for the event. So, with a rule set, a logo, and a start date, I threw up some posts on social media to try and drum up some hype about the event. And to my surprise, the response was great, and everyone seemed genuinely excited to participate. It seemed like a lot of people hadn't actually heard of the original event, so I was really happy to bring it back to a new generation of hunters. And with all that taken care of, I began to set up my games. I decided I would start my full odds Unown at the start of the month so I would have the most time to find my shiny. I set up 4 copies of Heart Gold and Soul Silver and made my way around the Ruins of Alph solving the puzzles in order to unlock every Unown in the basement. To round out my games, I put a single platinum at the end of the Ruin Maniac tunnel in order to encounter the exclamation mark and question mark Unown. I took to stream on February 3rd with a new layout and the hope of a relatively quick shiny hunt. If you ever want to catch the next shiny live, you can always find me hunting something over on my Twitch, which you can find in the description below. And hey, while you're there, consider dropping a like and subscribing. It helps a lot. The kickoff stream went great, and the next day, on February 4th, I was lucky enough to find my first shiny of the event. Alright. Now here's the thing. Here's the interesting situation I ran it. Oh, shiny Unown! Question mark. Oh my god. We got something. And it's, what's that, Safari Zone? On the platinum. That's crazy. Cool. Okay, let's catch him. What should we catch it in? Catch him in a luxury ball. What? Whoops. My bad. Hey, we got it. All right, what should we name it? This is an important question. What are we we cheated it off camera. Oh no. Lobster? Oh, 100%. 100%. Oh my god, and this whole time, look at this whole time, the question mark, he's been here. Okay, let's go see lobster. All right, I'm taking nature guesses. Okay, quirky, relaxed, lonely, gentle, quirky, lame. Lame is not a that's not a real nature. Constipated, that's not a real one either. Where is he? There he is. Ready? I guess, naive, I guess. Pasty. Who said hasty? Jelloston. Congrats everybody. Pasty. Man, I'm almost too many shinies. This is my other one. This is Sigma, caught a couple years ago as well. Big fan of Sigma. Bro said, huh? Regular Bidoof and Art Lobster are question mark Unown. That's cool. I really like the question mark. I'm really happy I got that. I'm really happy I got that one. Hang on, guys. Something important has been brought to my attention. Something very important has been brought to my attention. As you can see, it is me as a lobster. There I am in lobster form. All right, guys. Let's chat for a bit. I can just throw everything at the wall. I could just do like 2 Heart Gold Soul Silver, 2 emeralds, you know, 2 fire leaf green. We can do whatever. Okay, let's do that. I've got what, 5 games I can work with. So this platinum's open, so we'll go to the marsh in platinum. I know for sure one of my Heart Gold Soul Silvers I can do the safari. I'm not sure if the other one can. So there's 2. I could do 2 Kanto, and I can do 2 Kanto, and then I can do like 5 Hoenn. Okay, I'll try and set that up. All right, team. Break. Good work. I'd already done a lot of hunting throughout Gen 3 and 4 in the Safari Zone, and if you go back through my Safari Zone videos, you'll know I already have most of the targets I specifically wanted. So, rather than set up a specific target in the zone, I set up multiple games in different spots and just went for whatever showed up. I had 1 platinum, 1 heart gold, 1 emerald, and 2 fire red and leaf green copies. The night before stream, I spent a few hours making sure everything was perfectly set up. In heart gold, I used the date skip trick to put Krogunk into the encounter table, and I set up every game with sweet scent to make it easier to hunt with my controller mod. And naturally, when you spend so much time setting up a hunt, it ends nearly immediately. Here was my second shiny of the event from the stream on February 5th.
Med response to the night and how toward Lanbuas would award.
Thank you, Adam. It's like changing a clock time in Crystal. I know, that is so true. Ooh, Skorupi is also a what's it called? It's a binocular Pokemon. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Anyways, this will be a little slower than the Unown. But you know, it'll be fun. I'm seeing oh, there's no way. Is that a shiny? That is, right? Wait. What just I was just talking about how this might take a while, you know, it's a lot of games, but it's kind of cool how many things we get to see at once. No, that's shiny. That's 100% shiny. That's so funny. That is so funny. Shiny blue thing in 30 encounters. Still not my fastest hunt, but close. That's very interesting. I set all this up, man. I took all this time to set up this nice little, oh. It took all this time to set this hunt up and we got it already. It's done. Oh, that's so sad. It's all right. Okay, let's try it. Let's see what we, okay. Anyways. Yeah, we're gonna throw a ball. I have to catch it? I don't know. We'll see. 1, 2, 3. Guys, I think we're gaming. I don't have much to say, honestly. Frankly, I don't have anything to say at all. All right, guys, I'll catch you around. Stream's done. All right. Okay, so I see bold, sassy, hasty, woke. I'll guess jolly. I'll double up on the jolly. Docile nature. That's insane. That's genuinely fucked. That's really, really fucked up, guys.
He casually gets a shiny in the first 10 minutes of stream.
Yeah, he does. Okay, regular Eradicate and gaming are shiny Nidoran. Man, awesome. All right, let's do some PLA. Let's pull some PLA shenanigans, shall we? With my shiny hunt ending in nearly 10 minutes, I had to think of a backup plan for the rest of stream. I had technically already completed my original goal, which was to find a full odds pair with my Unown. So I decided I'd just hop on Legends Arceus and start looking for my next Unown from Hisui this time. It wasn't long before I found my next shiny during the same stream. Speaking Italian, bro. Sorry, I don't speak Italian. Oh my god! Hey, you're not supposed to be that color. You're not supposed to be that color. Hang on. What are you doing out here, you silly goose? Side quest completed. We got it before the Unown. Is that considered a phase? Do I put the counter back down, or? Look at, oh, he's angry. You thought about Carnivine 3 total? Oh, Carnivine's like my favorite Pokemon, man. That's a phase? Okay. Yeah. Don't catch it yet. What if there's a shiny Unown C? Oh my god. Wait, that's crazy. Wait, stop. Where's my dog? Put me on the dog. That's not a dog. That's not a dog either. 2 shinies? We out here getting 2 shinies? Guess not. That is so facts. Giratina going away. We're keeping Carnivine. Anyone got any nature guesses? Look at him. Look at this silly guy. I love him. Oh, where'd he go? I love Carnivine. Let's check. I guess Naive. And he is gentle. He's a gentle little guy. A little gentle, slappy guy. All right, you're coming with me, sir. We've got Unown to find. After finishing up our side quest, I continued on with more Unown resets. And in the meantime, chat decided to regale me with their most important facts about Unown over text-to-speech. Subscribe.
Wrong tour.
Thank you so much, Sonic.
The Pokedex, Unown report, and Professor Oak's research disagree on
Toasty,
whether
you're
Unown
killing me,
communicates
man.
using electromagnetic waves, specifically radio
I'm
waves,
learning so
or
much
telepathy.
today.
In the Twitch chat, straight up wrong in it. And by it, wow, let's just say, wrong too.
Certain Unown
Nice.
loose in the Hisui region were capable of repelling Pokeballs that contained Pokemon, preventing them from... However, they can only do this when more Unown are present,
However,
so it could be a shared effort rather usually in ruins
I feel like
docked
I'm
in
going
Pokemon
insane. I can't
Crystal.
focus
The Unown
when
are said to share a
learning.
cooperative bond with Suicune.
This voice is teaching me about Unown, and I read original memes say she... this voice is like just constantly in my brain, and all I read is she gloobing on my Heimer.
In Generation 8, Unown is the only
Oh,
known
goody.
Pokemon. In the Generation 2 games, Unown's form is determined by its
Don't do
IVs,
this to
which
me.
results in Carnivine is a green
Oh my
blood-like
God.
Pokemon
Eating a
Base
burger.
stats total. 336, 48,
Oh my
72, 48,
God.
72, 48, 48, max stats
I feel like I'm at
entering Metro.
bingo.
50.
T Cave 2031. 100% third big room Unown and PPT Cave 14
Third big room.
100% Unown and PPT Cave 20.
Now, it should be mentioned that I did have game audio on, and I could hear it pretty well in my headset. I had done an hour or two of these Unown resets and had heard the shiny Carnivine, so I wasn't particularly worried about missing a shiny, which made it all the more embarrassing when I did. Oh yeah, Spim's still around. Spim's still kicking. Okay, let's check these guys. Bring back contests, yes or no? Yeah, I like contests. The Gen 4 ones are my favorite. I haven't really done many of the Gen 3 ones. Why does that look shiny? Was that shiny? Was that shiny and just went away? I didn't hear it. It was? Oh, that's so funny. I didn't hear it. It just disappeared. Oh well. Well, yeah, I gotta go for another one. GG, everyone. We did our best. I didn't hear it at all. I have my sound on and everything. After losing out on Unown, I finished up stream for the night and took a little break from hunting. Later on, I decided I'd throw on some TV and try to get some more hunting done and to try and reclaim my Unown from Legends Arceus. Luckily, my crazy streak of luck continued and I found something later that night. That's a shiny. That's a shiny. There he is. It's a bee. Oh, what did I catch with a bee? Nice. So that's Unown number 2. The same night I got the other 2. Just insane. Or the other 2 shinies. What are we gonna do with bee? Where is he? Where is he? Got a lot of Unown lying around. There he is. There he is. There's our shiny Unown bee. I'm gonna think on it. And hopefully we'll come up with something neat to hunt. But until then, I'll see you whenever I figure that out. With my second Unown actually being a letter this time, I had to narrow down which target I wanted to hunt. There are some decent targets that start with the letter B, and a few crossed my mind, like Beldum or Burmy, but as I was ruminating on it, I remembered an old hunt I had worked on a few years ago, Bagon. I only ever did one phase and had found a soul rock, after which I had moved on to some other hunt. so I figured I'd get back into Meteor Falls and look for Bagon, with Lunatone being a hopeful phase. Now coming back to Gen 3 Hoenn also meant I got to introduce some ancient Ronk lore to some of the new chatters. Okay guys, let's talk. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I used to hunt a lot of Gen 3. Throughout all of those phases, throughout all of maybe Cacnea, I keep forgetting if Cacnea was involved, for sure through I think 6-7 phases of Lotad, we had this middle, we called it middle game. It was the middle Japanese Sapphire. It sat right where it's sitting right now. It was right above me. It was always in the middle of the screen. And throughout all of those hunts, it found 0 shinies. None. Like just no phases, nothing. It was practically worthless, and it was such a joke that we ended up just giving it its own counter. So I'll ask you to turn your attention to this big old number next to Bagon there. That is the single counter for middle game. There have been many explanations. People have said Greg is cursed. People have said that Greg is just really bad at finding shinies, that Greg just can't do it. Personally, I think it's just really unlucky. To be fair though, to give this Japanese Sapphire credit, it found Tropius, which is 9% first phase. It was over odds. It was at 16,000 or so. But it found Tropius first phase. That's our good friend Greg there. So, it's done its job. Okay, it has put in the work. Frankly, I give it the right to retire. I think it can retire if it wants. But it doesn't make it any less funny to keep track of how many encounters it has gone through. Despite my amazing luck in the first few days of the event, it all caught up to me for this hunt, and I ended up going over 15k for this first phase. During this time, the community was in full swing for this event, and they were finding shinies left and right. Included were some of my close friends who were finding neat shinies of their own.
But then again, the reasons
Oh!
for Turtwig are very small. Oh?
Shiny Unown! Let's go! Oh my gosh! Shiny Galarian Darmanitan!
Shiny Unknown P. Whoa. Whoa. Shiny Pikachu. Shiny Pikachu. Shiny Pikachu.
No way!
Ooh, there we go. Nice.
P is her pine code, by the way.
Mmm. How'd you get one?
Yeah.
No way.
Eventually, on February 24th, I finally found a shiny of my own while I was on stream. A joyous occasion. My favorite time of the year, if you ask me. Oh, shiny Golbat. That's not a Bagon. Upsetting. That's okay. That is okay. Hang on. Hang on, we'll get it. There he is. Funny looking dragon. Yeah, tell me about it, dog. For real. Spore. Awesome shiny Bagon. Well, see, here's the secret. I know you guys are thinking, oh, that's not a bee. It's a bat. And it's my event. So I'll consider it a pair. Just kidding. Just kidding. Why is it giving me trouble? Just let me catch it. Please. Hooray! I'm so excited. I love Golbat. There's a regular bat. He's wonderful in purple. And now he's green. We're gonna name him Yakuza. There he is. Hey, look, Giratina V and Leo. Damn, we got a fucking gang on this game for real. All right, get in there, buddy. You got this. You got the type advantage. Brock Tomb coverage. Unbelievable. Hardy. I guess naive, like usual. Modest. Well, We did our best, guys. Considering I didn't have much time left for the event, I figured I'd do my best to squeeze in one more phase before the end of the month. Luckily, this phase wasn't nearly as long, and I managed to finish this hunt offline on March 1st. Oh. I don't want another bat. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same game? Is it? Yeah, it's the Emerald. Wow. Second bat. Well, I think this is the last phase for the Unown challenge. This is phase 3 for Bagon. It's March 1st, so it's the night after. I told everyone I'd give them till Sunday to finish up, but you know what? I think this is the end of it, for me at least. We'll catch it. We'll call it an event. I got one pair. I'm pretty happy with that, especially since they were both Gen 4. I think that's pretty neat. You know, you win some, you lose some. But this is my second Golbat, my third in the line. I have a Crobat as well. Here we go. Another bat. Another bat. I guess we'll go show it off, battle real quick, and then we'll call it a day. I still can't believe how many people participated and found shinies. Absolutely insane. Just off the top of my head, at the time of this recording, or at the time I last checked, it was like 118 pairs. So what, like 236 shinies? That's insane. Yeah, wow. It's another bat. That's insane. Different gender, and I used the battle video method, so I know it's not an RNG clone, but still, it's kind of crazy. Of all the games we have going, to find them both in the same thing. Naughty. It's a naughty bat. All right, we'll go straight off in battle really quick. I gotta make the battle video, and then yeah. All things considered, I would consider the event, you know, more than a success. I had a great time. Regular Tailo and Viper, our shiny Golbat number 2, and our last shiny for the Unown challenge, at least for this year. Despite not getting my target, I'm still more than happy with finishing off a full odds pair in Gen 4. Moreover, I cannot believe how amazing the turnout for this event was. Everyone seemed really excited from the start, and once everyone got hunting, it seemed like everyone had a great time, which is honestly all I could ask for. Throughout the event, I kept track of every pair of shinies found in this nifty little spreadsheet, with the main page being the full alphabet. For the first pair of each unknown, I filled out a square with the username of whoever found it. Alongside that, I had a separate tab for each letter where I kept track of the user who found the shiny and which generation the unknown and other shiny were found in, respectively. In total, we found 121 pairs, or 242 shinies. And this wasn't even including any of the unknown shinies that went unpaired. I also had a stats page where I could keep track of some of the finer details, which you can see here. Gen 8 dominated the tables for both unknown found and subsequent shinies, and the most found shiny, outside of unknown of course, was surprisingly Quillfish with a total of 5. As for unknown, the most popular was Unknown G, with 8 being caught in total. I had an absolute blast running this event and genuinely cannot wait to run it again next year. Thanks to everyone who took time out of their month to participate, and I hope to see you all again next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Well done, Ronk. Cheeky bastard did it even better than me. He must never find out.